It's time for Sunrise with the Sleepy Boys.
Forgive us, Father, for we are about to sin and be very naughty boys. Key, yeah, you missed it. I bitched about my ex-wife for a little bit earlier.
I know you said that, but you didn't imply what exactly happened. You just said
I mean, come on.
You just said like, I am horny.
Yeah.
Jeez.
But it's fine. Everybody's got to go to therapy.
Well, what's funny is she actually messaged me the other day. I think she wants to get back together, and I think I'm going to take her up on it.
No.
Oh, God damn it. Now I have to take back everything I said.
Mark, are you
kind of friend I am? I'm like, oh, good for you, bud. I didn't, stuff is...
I mean, Mark, are you... I don't know if you're bullshitting me or not.
Key, come on. What the fuck is wrong with you? You can't keep letting Mark gaslight you like that.
Key, I love you, bud. I really do. But God, you are so easy.
Jesus. I'm glad you're not like in politics or on Wall Street or anything, because you'd just be the most gullible motherfucker.
He would trust everything that's put on his desk. Like, hey, this is gonna really fix the economy.
You know what? You're the kind of guy who gets hired when they're like, oh man, something's about to fucking blow up, and we need a goddamn fucking patsy to take the fucking brunt of this.
To be clear here,
he seems really.
We're not insulting you here. We think you're one of the coolest people ever. But you're just very gullible.
I love you, adore you, but you are gullible as shit.
Key, you're the guy that would have been given control of Enron right before everything down.
Oh shit.
You're the kind of guy that would have been given the keys to the White House when Trump was leaving.
Oh god damn it.
Key, you're the kind of guy that would sign up for a pyramid scheme and not understand that you just got fucking served.
No, I'm so glad I know about the
You
pyramid
would have
scheme.
signed up for a pyramid scheme and then be like, so where's my pyramid?
Fuck you.
Key's gullible. He's not a fucking dumbass.
Yo, Brennan, that was awesome. Okay, I'm gonna give you that one.
Hey, yo, guys, I paid the $8,000 that you said I needed to pay. Where's my pyramid?
Where's the pyramid?
I just go pick it up in Egypt. Is that where I get it? Oh my God. Key is the kind of guy that buys someone a star for their birthday.
Oh, no, I'm buying it for myself.
Then accidentally finds out that he just got chocolates made from somebody's butthole.
Oh my god, I can't believe there's really things like there's really.
Oh my god, I love that that's a real thing.
It's responses like that from Key. It's like, I just can't believe that they exist. I can't believe that's something that happens. It just really sets up that potential even more. Send somebody you care about a star. Oh my god, that's amazing. And
me buy a star for somebody? No, I'm buying it for myself.
Yeah, I'm saying that you're like, oh man, I can just buy a star, and then all of a sudden a box of chocolate shows up at your doorstep, and it's just, well, it's a brown star, but it ain't. But it's a star, but it's a brown star.
If anybody ever sends something like that, I know for a fact it's either gonna be you or it's gonna be Mark.
What are you talking about? I just show up and press my ass cheeks against you.
Yeah, but the real joke is the fact that Mark and I didn't go through an actual company to do it. We just did it ourselves in my kitchen, and there's like butthole hairs in there and stuff.
What are you talking about? You think I'd actually waste time making a chocolate mold? I just take a really bad shit one day and then just let it solidify.
No, because the real joke is like actually like pouring. Well, I say choke. The joke is on both of us.
Joke.
Gets to suffer a little bit, but I'm just imagining you with your legs up in the air and I'm pouring like hot chocolate into your butthole.
I'm trying to imagine how Jazz would react to this, just walking in.
About as well as you would expect. Also, at the same time, I imagine if she walked in on that, she'd go, so what's this for?
Yeah, no, here's the thing about Jasmine. She is fucking ride or die. You could tell her I killed somebody and she'd be like, all right, let's hide the body.
Jasmine's also the kind of person that's like, she is. I mean, that's also. Oh God, it's very true. It's like if you pulled up to a bank and she goes, "All right, cool. So what are we doing?" And you go, "Well, we're robbing it." And she goes, "All right, cool. So what am I doing?" And it's just like,
I feel like if anybody heard Bucky or Gwen or just said anything remotely mean to them, I feel like she would turn into like the female version of like John Wick.
no, she wouldn't even turn into the female version of John Wick. All of a sudden, you would just stop existing, and then she would just look normal.
Here's the thing.
She would be like the Flash. Like Jasmine didn't change at all, but all of a sudden you're dead on the floor. Like what happened?
Here's the thing about the bank robbery scenario that you laid out, though, is she wouldn't say, "Okay, what am I doing?" She'd already have a cocked pistol ready to go.
Oh, very true.
True, yeah.
Like you wouldn't know where the fuck the pistol came from, but she would have it.
Oh, I can imagine where it came from.
Brandon, no,
Oh, it's my wife.
that's fair.
Hey, Jasmine, I need that gun out of your fucking...
Hey, yo, Jasmine, I know you got a gun story away somewhere. I need you to pull it out. So I know how much you guys love stories about my mom.
Oh God, no.
So let me lay out the scene for you. When I was but a child.
Wee lad.
What, Brandon?
When I was butt naked.
When I was a butt naked nasty boy. No, so when I was in middle school, when I am actually butt naked right now.
What? Oh boy!
Whoa!
What?
Well, I'm not being butt naked when we were on video chat with Key's family.
Yo, it came very. You guys are lucky that you caught me. When you did. I had literally just put pants on. So I discovered the magic of internet pornography when I was in middle school. As I believe I've mentioned before. And, when you're of that age, everything turns you on for no fucking reason.
Oh, no.
So anyway, actually I've got
years.
This is a two-parter, actually.
Oh my God, it's a twofer?
It's a twofer here.
Yeah,
so I was working
one for the other.
I was working on a school project, and I needed to use my dad's camera. And I didn't realize what all my dad used that camera for.
Oh, no.
So, I was doing a school project. I guess, no, actually, you know what? This would have been, the school project would have been in high school. So this two different stories, but they're very similar. So I'm working on a school project for high school. It was for my my world history class. We had to like take a video of us putting a flag on somebody else's property, just like as a joke assignment. It was extra credit kind of thing. And so I grabbed the camera. I wanted to make it really fucking good, right? You know, I put a lot of work into it. I filmed a really fucking. I used music and shit, which nobody else did. So mine ended up looking really fucking weird. And as I'm taking the SD card out of the camera and putting it into the computer, I see that there are other videos on there, and I'm like, I thought I only took one video, and there were 3 videos on there. So it's like maybe it's just
the mentality of like, well, I got to make sure I'm working on the right video.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't want to grab the wrong video. But here's the problem with the other 2 videos. Is what?
It was your mom.
Not just my mom. I saw everything.
Yeah, your mom.
Nope, I saw both of my parents.
Ew.
Was
that a fisheye lens to be able to capture all of that?
Wasn't a fisheye lens, man. But I appreciate the joke there. I accidentally came across my parents' sex tapes.
You should be very careful when you say that kind of thing that you accidentally came across. You should make sure that you...
I accidentally happened upon my parents' sex tape.
I don't want to hear about you accidentally coming upon your...
I accidentally came upon my parents.
Ew.
Yeah, so while I was editing, I came across my parents' sex. I found my parents' sex tape by accident, and I I didn't finish the assignment after that. I just cut my losses on that one, and I spent probably about 3 weeks without being able to look either of my parents in the eye. Mostly because, like, here's the thing about a sex tape is it has to be done from a good angle. Otherwise, all you get is just man ass
and paunch.
All I saw
It ends up looking like the goddamn logo of Paunch Burger from Parks and Rec. It's just a fat silhouette.
So here's the problem is it was mostly man ass, and the second one, which
that's kind of ass.
But the other problem is this, because like I said, there were 3 videos. I just wanted to see which one was mine. The first one was just man ass. The second one, my dad got smart and moved the camera, so I got to see everything swinging, everything swinging.
You got to see the old man's tackle box. You got to see what he's been fishing with.
Nope, I got to see from the front everything from my mom swinging. It haunts me to this day.
Seeing
what?
Did it feel homely, like you were going back to a place that you thought you knew, but like almost you're like, man, there's some kind of like latent memories and like almost like a blanket.
No, it was a nightmare. Brandon, you've also got to understand when I'm
picture of an old house that you used to live in. You're like, I used to live there.
No, it's not what it felt like at all. What it felt like was it was like watching it was like the first time I watched The Human Centipede. It was horrifying, but I couldn't look away.
It was one of those things that you and I have a very different experience with watching Human Centipede, apparently, because I thought it was the funniest shit I'd ever seen.
I've actually never seen Human Centipede. I was just using that.
I've seen it.
I was laughing my ass off because, like, this is the dumbest shit I've ever watched in my entire life.
But yeah, so like I said, I wasn't able to look my parents. I didn't finish the assignment.
Shit, my computer's so tight.
I couldn't look my family in the face. So that naturally scarred me for years to come. But so the other story, the one from middle school, was a little bit more harrowing because it's one thing to come across your parent. Okay.
Hold on, Mark, real quick. Babe, she falls asleep with your glasses on.
Is that Jasmine?
Jasmine.
Hi, Jasmine. We love you.
Ouch, with her glasses, and you can tell because she's got a red bridge across her nose.
Oh, she's a sweet girl. We love her.
Woman.
Well, you should. She's a fucking treasure, dude.
Mm-hmm.
You got the
ask for.
You really pulled like the lucky numbers. I mean, both of you did.
I know.
That's not to say.
I feel like I'm definitely the one who won the lottery. I feel like she just kind of like, all right, this one will do. That
was directed at Key, not Jasmine, bud. Jasmine definitely drew the short straw. But that short straw came with a big old dick.
Yeah.
As bad it is to see your parents fucking like your sex tape, it's so much worse seeing it in real life.
You poor soul.
Oh no, it's almost it's worse than it sounds. So my parents, as most parents do, they had the master bath. They had the master bedroom with the master bath and shit like that. And they would often not close the door when they were bathing. And I'm not talking like they would close the door to their bedroom, but not to close the door to the bathroom. It's their bedroom. Nobody's gonna fucking go in there, right? I was in middle school and I needed something from my parents. I can't remember what it was. Their door was open, so I just assumed, hey, it's probably okay to go in here. And as I came into the master bedroom and took a turn around the corner that they had, like right after the entrance, I saw, with the bathroom door wide open and the shower curtain pulled back.
Oh no.
I saw my parents fucking plowing it.
Good for them.
No. Sure, good for them. Great for them. Terrible for me.
Oh, terrible for you.
terrible for me. Yeah, they were just fucking going to town. My mom was pressed up against the wall. My dad was just going at it from behind. And as soon as I registered what I was looking at, I fucking bolted.
How old were you?
I was like 12.
Oh, so you knew well.
Oh, of course. Yeah, I was very much into my heavy porn action at that point. So I knew exactly what was.
It wasn't nowadays. From you fucking go on the Pornhub or anywhere, it's all just mommy fucks stepson or. Oh, it's a good thing. God, could you imagine trying to find your way into what like gets you going now?
I know exactly what gets me going now, guys. I don't need help finding that.
You poor bastard.
Catholic vampires
and
Catholic
MILF.
vampires.
Catholic schoolgirl gets bitten by horny vampire MILF.
Mark, let's be honest. The only reason you're into MILFs is because you're hoping to find a legitimate mother figure.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's the only reason I'm into daddies, too.
Oh, God.
You sick bastard. But, so that's actually not the end of the story, funny enough. So like I said...
Funny.
So I booked it. Like, as soon as I registered, I was like, oh my God, my parents are fucking in the bathroom. And they left the door. Here's the fucked up part. It was like noon. It wasn't even like late at night or early in the morning.
Oh, heaven forbid that your parents get some skyrockets and afternoon delight.
The problem is they left both of the doors open. And we were home from school. It was a Saturday.
Oh. Hey man, look, you know what? Sometimes the mood strikes you and you hope for the best. You just start fucking.
Look, I get it. I've had sex before. I understand how that works. But
Have
here's
you
the
had
problem.
sex with children around?
Yeah. So I walked after seeing my dad porno railing my mom. I'm back in my room.
Good fucking job for him. I mean,
Fucking
I was in my room crying. I was scarred for life after that, naturally. And
that's one.
My mom comes in and she's like, "Hey bud, how you doing? What are you doing today?" And I'm like, just hanging out. She's like, "Oh, cool. I thought you were we figured you'd be going over to a friend's house." I was like, "No, everyone's in town. I was just going to hang out around the house." And she's like, "Have you been in our room recently?" And I was like, "Oh, why?" And she's like, "Oh, we realized that I realized I was taking a shit and the door open, and I thought I saw your sleeve." And I'm like,
sleeve?
Yeah, apparently she thought she saw my sleeve like whip around the corner left.
Well, she probably did.
She probably did. So and she's just kind of like, "I just wanted to make sure." And I'm like, what am I fucking supposed to say in that situation? Yeah, I saw Dad railing you. Like, good for you guys. And at your age, goddamn.
You would.
No, I wouldn't. I would not say good job to my parents fucking. In any circumstance. Brandon.
Are you done with your story?
Yeah, that's the end of me watching my dad porno rail my mom.
All right, cool. So, Key, you want to hear about how Jasmine and I were getting on in one of the cabins at your wedding and Jose and Brianna almost walked in on us?
Are you fucking kidding me?
Brandon, is this allowed to stay on the episode?
Yeah, you can keep this in the episode.
Is Jasmine going to be okay with you telling this story?
I don't know, but I'm willing. It's a badge of honor for both of us. We're not. You know.
You're not ashamed.
It wasn't like we were getting like down and wild or anything. It was just all right. So Jasmine and I were not. There were at Key's wedding. There were cabins, part of the venue.
Yes, it's called Hide on the Horseshoe.
I'm sure that these lovely people would be thrilled about the plug that you just gave them and the story that I'm about to tell.
You know what they say? Any publicity is good publicity.
It's true. So anyways, we were not staying the night because it was like an hour and a half outside. Not even an hour and a half. Like
No,
it's
well, depending on traffic, but it's an hour away from Austin, and
yeah. I mean, it's down. Oh, Mark, it's not far from where we would. Oh fuck, you didn't go on that trip.
Well, where Canyon Lake, Texas is, it's right between San Marcos and
where we would go
Wimberley.
to our youth trips when we go tubing.
Yeah, dude, I was there for those.
Yeah, but it was right outside of there. See, I ended up going with Colin
Peak.
Yeah, Colin Peak, David Charles, and then there was another person who was with us. I can't remember their name. I can't remember who it was that was with us. We went right down the road from where the venue was at to an EDM festival.
Yeah, that was me, you dick.
No, that wasn't you.
I was there. We listened to like Daft Punk and I mean, are there really any other EDM bands out there?
Wow,
dude.
Wow.
Come on, that was good. That was fucking clever.
That was dumb.
It was. I'm sorry.
It's fucking bullshit. Anyways, so it was literally right down the road from where I went to an EDM festival at. And so, but anyways, not far from where a lot of people do a lot of tubing, some like intercoastal, like river fishing in Texas throughout the hill country. It's great.
Right.
Beautiful country. So on this venue, they had cabins that you could, stay in for the night.
Okay.
Well, Jasmine and I were like, Keys has a goddamn dry wedding, so we're not going to be drinking that hard. So we're just going to drive back to Austin. Well, thankfully, Jose and Brianna brought some like bottles of like Deep Eddy and that had them in the like freezer that we could get into. But even still, we weren't like hitting the bottle or anything throughout the night.
Brandon, I very much doubt that you were not hitting a bottle.
No, because the deal is I'm not crazy about vodka.
The reason why we had a dry wedding was because
It's fucking cheaper.
Well,
right,
that, and then at the same time, we knew everybody was gonna want to go back home because it was literally a couple of days before Christmas.
Yeah, no,
And
that
so,
makes sense.
yeah. So I'm pretty.
I love Key and Bailey very, very much. It was one of the most inconvenient times for a wedding I have ever been to in my entire life.
That's what I said sometimes too.
But at the same time, as somebody that likes a cooler wedding, that I can be outside and not be sweating my ass off, and since you asked me to be a groomsman at your wedding, I was very thankful. I was like, this is like my ideal time of the year to do, like, be in a wedding. Like, this is great. I'm glad he didn't ask me to be a groomsman and then him tell me that we're doing it in August because I'd be pissed.
No, I told Bailey the moment after I proposed to her, I was like, please, no summer wedding.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. No summer wedding.
And that was one of the best things that Jasmine and I did. We did it in November.
Yep.
And it was great. Oh, my goodness. It was perfect. You could be outside and it wasn't that cold.
But
temperate.
So anyway, we wanted a dry wedding because we knew everybody was going to want to drive back home, get ready
absolutely.
for their trip back.
Y'all saved so much money. You saved so much. Like, come on. It's ridiculous to pay for your friends to drink for 3 hours. It's dumb.
But I told everybody.
For anybody who's listening to this right now, if you're like in the process of getting married or you're thinking about getting married, and like you're trying to plan your date, but you're wanting to be like reasonable and you're like, man, we want to have a good little shindig, hootenanny get together, proper wedding, but you're wanting to save money somewhere, alcohol. Just don't.
I'm gonna be honest with you. It kind of feels like you're directing that whole thing towards me.
No, because all right, but why did you go? I'm about to be really upset that I wasn't invited to your wedding. Did you have an open bar?
No,
Okay.
we had mimosas for everyone got like 2 mimosas. It was fucking.
Oh, see, but that's different. Like mimosas are fine. Yes, you're gonna pay a good amount of money for mimosas because you gotta pay for a bartender to be there. You gotta make sure you tip your bartender good.
Brandon, I will tell you this right now.
Into things. What?
There are about 2 dozen people I would have rather had you replace at our wedding.
But I appreciate it, but at the same time, it's in the past. We can't do nothing about it.
Brandon, when I finish my time machine, right along, as soon as I finish.
You might want to be careful because you don't know what's going to happen.
That's a very good point. I got to just add it to my to-do list. What if I went back in time, fixed everything, getting married, and, I'm like, Brandon, you're coming to the wedding. But as the bride is walking down the aisle and I lift her veil for the first time and you see your face.
I don't need to listen to you lifting your wife.
Your face.
Christ.
I lift the veil and it's Brandon's face on a woman's body.
I'm very upset that you would have me in a dress and not a suit.
I don't know.
You're a woman. It'd be a female version of Brandon.
Why the fuck am I the female? Not that there's anything wrong with that.
No, it's not you. It's your clone that I just switched a chromosome on.
You know what, Brandon? I think you make a pretty fucking hot chick. I'm not gonna lie.
Thank you, but also at the same time, I feel like that goes doubly towards you.
You would make a fucking sexy woman.
Jesus, Key. I mean, you even have you're one of the only people in our age bracket that kept the scene thing going. Like, that gives you like 20 extra points going towards you.
Thank you.
Lord, if you had the scene thing going for you and you were a woman, Key, I'm sorry, you wouldn't be able to survive. I would just tear you apart.
Oh my god. Well, obviously big dick.
All of my siblings only know about scene girls because that's one of the things I find sexiest.
That's one of the things you bestowed upon them.
That's one of the dude. They are so fucking interested in my sex life. It's insane.
That's very concerning.
Yeah,
It's very invasive. Yes,
That's how old are they?
they're in. They range from like their mid-30s to 40.
Okay, that's a bit different. That's okay.
Yeah.
Just tell them.
I was very concerned.
How old were you thinking?
Much younger. Much younger.
Like Victoria's age?
Yes.
No, Victoria's the only younger sibling I have.
Look, I understand that now when you're telling me it, but you have a lot of dynamics that happen with your family. I don't know where it falls fully. Mark,
no.
you have a benefit of kind of understanding my family dynamic because you legitimately met and know 2 of my cousins.
Yeah, that's true.
So, like, you can go from there and judge it. But, like, Victoria is the only sibling that I know.
Yeah. Look, we're getting off topic here. What I'm trying to get at, Key, is you were a woman. God, you wouldn't get out of my basement, dude.
I'm not even going that far as to being a woman. I have to restrain myself on a daily basis when I'm around him.
Damn.
God.
Good to know.
Anyway, so continue with your story about
about
almost turning your twosome into a foursome.
Yeah.
So anyways, I'm getting dressed up in like my suit and stuff because I'm a groomsman, and I will hand it to Key and Bailey. So I've been to a good amount of weddings, been in a couple of them. Some people don't have good taste in their color selection that they want people to wear. I can definitively say for Key and Bailey, they have their color palettes like on fucking point.
Thank you.
Like fucking amazing. Like as soon as I found out like what we were wearing and like, the color coordination, I was like, this is fucking elegant as shit. I'm all about it. It's great. It was like a dark gray suit, and then you ended up having like a nice deep red
Maroon.
maroon that went with everything. It was awesome.
Dude, I really loved my vest that I was wearing because mine was just because the guys were gray vests, but mine was just all maroon. I was like, "Fuck, I really want to keep this thing."
We were gray all the way. Well, our suits and the vests were gray, but our bow ties and our accent, the pocket square was maroon.
Mhm.
But then Key went the extra swag level and made he's like, no, I'm having a full maroon vest.
Oh man, that vest was so fucking amazing.
Like I know, like one of my things is I always look back at those like photos, but for whatever reason, the photos from your wedding is what pops up in my feed the most, and I think it's mostly because of Zach, because he likes using those photos a lot.
Yep.
So I am always seeing those photos from your wedding, which is, great. One of the things I regret is like, man, I wish I was in better shape. Like I was right on the cusp of like right when your wedding happened, I had made the decision like leading up to like our suits getting fitted and stuff. I was like, I'm getting in better shape. Like I'm working on it. So I was doing better at that point. I like looking at that because I truly look at those photos. Like this was the moment when I started like really working hard on getting better about how I looked.
Yeah.
So then I use that as like my tent pole, and then everything else is like followed that. And I can honestly say like I look a million times better than I did at your wedding, but I still like, even though at your wedding I didn't look as good as I wanted to, I was like, you know what? I respect how I looked because I know I was on the right track and I looked good. Like there. Like I like for like 3 months leading up to your wedding, I was working real hard to get in a better routine and stuff. Also,
If
that's
this-
kind of
If this makes, I was gonna say, if this makes you feel any better, how Bailey's sister is a college, as a graduate from SCAD from Atlanta, Georgia, and she majors in film and photography. She said that the photographer who took the pictures used the wrong lens.
Oh no,
That's why
absolutely.
everybody looked like they were
And it's very
bigger. And I was like,
very evident. But
yeah,
at the same time, I was like, I look bigger than I know I was at this time. But at the same time, even though I look bigger because of the lens,
same here. Because even Bailey was like, "Why do you look so much bigger?" When you were like, I was like,
you
"It
were
has to be."
so one. It's infuriating because even when you're like hard on yourself and like, oh, it was really big at this point, I'm like,
No,
I would kill to be at that weight.
but no, but even my like everybody else was asking, they're like what the hell? Like, why do we look so big? Even some of the even some of the other people.
The two people who benefit the most are Zach and Jose, who are both trying to bulk up at the time.
Oh yeah,
Both of them look like damn, both y'all look really good, and that's why both of them are always posting up like, hey, this time last year, 4 years ago, whatever, how long it's been. They always on the anniversary, I know, like they're always reposting those photos.
yep. It's either Zach,
Yeah,
it's either Zach or Jose and them.
But yeah.
Anyway,
So getting back to the crux
Sorry.
of the story, this real story. So I was Jasmine was getting dressed in Jose and Brianna's cabin they had. And we were over there getting some drinks and stuff because they had stuff in the freezer. We I don't know, the mood just caught us just right.
Dude, there is something about weddings that makes people horny as fuck.
You know what? Not as horny as funerals make people. You know, I mean,
Oh my
a funeral. And
I mean, have you ever been to an open casket funeral and not looked at the body and be like, fuck?
yeah.
You know, I never noticed it until just now, but grandma's cheeks clap, bro.
Oh my god, no. No.
Anyway.
got trained by the family.
Mark is going to turn to a funeral crasher.
Open casket at her funeral.
You can say it's wrong to do the incest, but like we're from Alabama, we don't give a fuck.
And Alabama, who gives a shit?
Brandon, I know what our first song should be for our band.
Is it just a grandma got ran over by the reindeer parody?
Yeah, grandma got plowed by the whole family. All right, carry on with your story. I'm sorry.
Anyways, so the mood caught us just right, and I was not dumb. I did not initiate, but I follow through. We were the only ones in the cabin at the time, and I was getting cleaned up, and Jasmine was also kind of powdering her nose, as they say. Just getting,
I have never heard anybody say the term powdering their nose, and it sounds so fucking sexual as when you just said it.
Yeah, you're welcome. But so anyways, we are both, Jasmine and I walk into the bathroom all the time anyways together. Like, we're fucking married. Like, who the fuck cares?
Who gives a shit? Yeah.
Yeah. But this time, I mean, if anybody did care, they'd be legitimate. Whatever. I mean, we're married. Who cares? It's all kosher with Christ, I suppose. But so, yeah, there's some looks given and some vibes felt, and it was go time. And I will say, I was fully dressed in that goddamn suit for the goddamn wedding.
Oh my god, Brandon, really?
Oh, absolutely.
Dude, round of fucking applause for you, dude.
Like, it was one of those escapades where the clothes didn't come off. It was one of those, like,
The suit stays on.
pants are dropping down to the knees, but the suit stays on, baby.
Like that Skittles commercial?
Yeah.
Oh, get ready for my sweetness.
Oh my,
Oh my god, that fucking commercial.
And it came to a quick halt because both Brianna and Jose we heard come into the cabin, and we're like, "Oh fuck, we gotta either one finish this up or be real quiet."
God damn it! I never knew about
Oh,
this.
what happened?
Oh, I mean, some.
Okay, enough said, bud. Enough said.
We made it to the finish line. We
Yay.
played a good game, and it got rough there in the second half, but we pulled it through.
They had us there in the first half, I won't lie.
And they rattled us right there when they came in unexpectedly like that. I mean, it threw the quarterback off a little bit, but let me tell you, he got his game together and he made it hit the end zone.
Damn it,
As soon as he crossed that line and punted that load down the field, I don't remember how football works.
I mean, I don't want to say that I'm the Tom Brady of like getting things done in a pinch, but you know what? In that moment, I get what Brady's all about.
You got the job done. You got the job done. That's what you did.
I got the job done, and I got a goddamn ring on my finger.
Yep. You deserve 2 rings on that finger, actually, for that.
Believe me.
You can't believe I never knew about this fucking story, and it's fucking funny and amazing all at the same time. And then you kept the suit on as well.
Oh yeah. Meanwhile, this is like no shit. This is before like I know I'm getting a little deep into details with you and stuff, but like,
No, it's fine.
whatever. Who the fuck cares? you're like one of my best friends, and it was at your wedding, and it's like a crowning achievement for both of us. Like we bring it up every once in a while. We're like, you remember when we did that? Anytime we see anything for Key's wedding, she goes, "You look really fucking good in that suit." I'm like, "You're goddamn right, I did."
I feel like you need to buy that suit.
I mean, I've got another gray suit now. I've got like my proper gray suit. But so anyways, like it was, it was one of those things like,
Wait, is that why you came in? Wait, is that why you came into the groom suite with a pep in your step?
oh yeah, no, absolutely. I came into the groom suite and I'm just like, everybody's stressing out because I mean, y'all look, man. I love you. I love Bailey, and I know it wasn't all up to you guys, but there is like y'all cut it to the fucking wire,
Dude. Yeah. Now I remember you because you came in with a big fucking smile and you were glowing.
Yeah, so Key's like sitting there in like the groom suite, which like everyone's hanging out, and they're like, "Oh man, like we're supposed to be out there right now. There's fucking guests like sitting down, like seated and stuff, and we're still waiting on people's hair to get done." And I'm just fucking strolling there. I'm just like, ain't nothing but a thing, man. I mean, come on, everything's gonna be fine. I mean, you're getting married. I mean, it doesn't matter if there's people in the seats or not. I mean, you got a wife out of it, and she's amazing.
Dude, those are all the exact words he said, and then all of a sudden he was like, "Ooh, cheese and salami." I was like, "What's going on?"
Oh yeah, there's the fucking like full-on charcuterie board, and I'm like, "Oh, fucking sweet, some goddamn protein." Ah, yeah, I'm feeling a little depleted right now. I need to build up my stamina. What's this all about? I'm fucking killing it at the at the charcuterie board. It's like, y'all not fucking eating any of this shit? This shit's fucking amazing. Y'all are missing out. Everyone else is stressing out like, we need to be the fuck out there. What the fuck's going on? I'm just like, I don't give a shit. Everything's fine, man.
This changes every fucking thing now that I know this because it makes it so much fucking funnier now. You came because you literally got laid and it's like, I got a pep in my step. I look good in this suit.
It wasn't even that I got laid. I got laid in the sense of like we're doing something that we shouldn't technically be doing because we're fucking in the bathroom. And our two of our closest friends just like walked in and were like, "Oh, we're gonna be fucking quiet about this right now, but we're not gonna stop. Are you gonna stop? No, I'm not gonna stop. You're not gonna stop. All right, cool. We're gonna finish this. We're gonna finish this like fucking champs." And Jasmine and I stroll out of the bathroom. We're just like, "Oh, how's it going? Are you all pouring shots? Oh, we'll take some shots." And immediately. They were none the wiser, and I would love to know. I would legit I'm very interested in like hearing what like Jose or Brianna has to say if they hear this episode, or if or when they hear this episode, what they have to say about it. Because I would love if they're like, "Oh yeah, y'all ain't slick as shit. We fucking knew." That'd be fucking great.
I can't stop smiling and laughing at the fact that all this went down, and it's like, you smooth motherfucker.
It's like hectic. You're stressing out. You're like, "Oh shit, my mom's not even had her hair done yet," and like we're still waiting on everybody to come down. We got fucking people in the aisle, like in the seats, and it's like, man, it's fine.
Because like I didn't even sleep that much because I was like, "Fuck, dude, my vows. I need to make sure they sound amazing. I want to knock this out of the fucking park." And I was like,
y'all were so cute.
So
about it. So I thought because Bailey improvised her vows, right?
Yep. Yeah.
That was the one thing. Because I remember that I was like, "It was the one thing." I was like, "You're telling me that Bailey is gonna try to improvise her vows on like one of the most like not saying like marriage is like the most important day of your life. Like, nah, I'm not like that naive." There's people that get married multiple times, but I know Bailey, and I know
fuck you.
But,
Jeez.
You're welcome. But one, it didn't succeed because I wasn't there, And so, but with like knowing Key and Bailey, like it's just like y'all are two peas in a pod kind of deal. Like y'all are both weird and you got your own quirks. You're crazy in your own ways, but you make it work. Like you're like a weird, like kind of like woven basket wicker set. And you're like, I don't know how this fucking works, but it fucking does, and it's sturdy as shit. And so I guess it's gonna last like, forever. But it was just one of those things that when you, because you were like, hey man, like this is what do you think about this? Because you came to me and Jose, and you were kind of like, this is what I got for my vows. I'm like, man, it's fucking amazing. That's really awesome that you, and I even told you, I was like, that's really amazing that you and Bailey like wrote out like your own vows separate from each other, and it's really great. And you legit turned to me and like, oh no, Bailey's just gonna wing it. She's really good with words.
Yep, that's what I said.
And the wedding they're like, you read your vows and you like when you like told me that she was gonna wing it, I was like, oh no, I don't think she's ready for that. She doesn't. Oh no, Key. I think you went a little too hard with your vows. I mean, you wrote them out, you planned it, and now she's just gonna wing it. Holy shit! And as soon as it happens, like she said very sweet things to you in that moment, but at the same time, essentially what her vows ended up being was ditto. And
yep.
And it was so cute because I really like seeing people get rattled and being surprised. And so for me, I was like, this is really rewarding for me because I know Key fucking like knocked it out of the park and like caught Bailey off guard.
Yep.
But at the same time, I was like, I feel bad for you, girl. But you should have, you should have like maybe have like written out your vows. But at the same time, there was a curtness and an honesty that I found so endearing that I was like, well, it's just cute as fuck. Like I can't even like, who fucking cares that you like whatever. The Key said it for both of you, like, and you both feel it. It was one of those things that you legit, from her reaction, it's like she feels exactly what you said, and it's like, that's adorable as fuck. Man, that's so cute.
Thank you, bud.
Yeah, it like legit was one of the. It's one of I don't typically like. I've really gotten to the point where I don't give a fuck about most people's weddings. I just look at like wedding invitations. I'm like, fuck. I'll send you a card and I'll send you something that you got on your fucking Bed Bath and Beyond
registry, whatever.
Like I'll send you something, but I'm not gonna go. I hate the pomp, the weird forced pomp and circumstance and awkwardness of weddings. Like I'm really not about it.
Yeah, I understand that.
I mean, I've been through going through your own wedding, like really opens up your eyes to like, there's a lot of pageantry and bullshit that I didn't have to be a part of. And I don't know, maybe there's something that happens when, like, I'm saying this as somebody on the precipice of I'm in the penultimate year of my 20s. Like I'm going to be 30 in June. So maybe there's something that happens in the next 5-10 years where I'm like, oh, weddings, they're beautiful. I love them. They're great. I get to see like new relationships get started. But I'm not there yet. I'm still
it's still a work in progress.
Yeah, I'm still in my like processing. Like weddings are mostly just a money grabbing kind of system, where people want to say, like, I like you like me, but it's more than that. There's a connection. I could see myself dying before you and you being sad about it, or vice versa. Like, there's this weird kind of, like, sadness and beauty in it. But, like, weddings kind of, like, shuffle that around like a little bit because it's like a money grab system. It's like a Valentine's for the rest of your life is how I view weddings. It's a marketing system.
And looking more back on it, you're really right about that. It's like, holy shit.
Yeah, but at the same time, like I look at Valentine's now and I'm like, well, that's a goddamn Hallmark institution kind of thing, and you're just looking to make people buy money and chocolates because they should feel obligated to buy it at the same time on this day.
Christ, man.
Look, I'm sorry. This is legit how I look at it. So, like, this is the kind of shit I didn't let you know about when I was younger. I was like, well, fuck Valentine's. This is a goddamn, like, corporate greed system. I'm buying these chocolates because fucking Hallmark told me to, and now they've convinced this girl that I like that this day actually has some meaning and matter to it, and if I don't, I'm shit out of luck. Oh, he doesn't care about me. He didn't get me a Valentine's kind of deal. Like, whatever. Like, you know, it's just corporate. It's corporate manufactured love. It's whatever. If people buy into it, they buy into it, and if people find meaning in it, they find meaning into it. It's just not for me. But weddings very much are kind of like the same thing. It's like a status situation. Oh, you gotta have this great grandeur, like, wedding. You know, it's gotta be the top. You gotta have the best DJ. You gotta have a crazy full liquor bar for 3 to 4 hours or whatever, open bar.
Look, man. Here's what's gonna happen when I get married next. I'm gonna use one of my friends that's ordained. I'm gonna have them do a small ceremony with my closest friends and family.
Hold on, Mark. Let's be honest. The moment that I find out that you're with somebody and that you're legitimately considering, like, this person.
No, I'm putting Jazz to work to do some more investigation like she did with Bailey.
Yeah, you guys think I'm gonna do this again by myself? Fuck no.
Oh no, and you absolutely shouldn't. That's where you went wrong the first time. But it's okay. Life is all about making mistakes and learning from them.
Quick piece of advice for anybody that's for any listeners we have: don't get married when you're in the military. Wait till you're back home with your friends and family.
God, it's one of the biggest mistakes people make. I just every time I see it happen,
everybody that I know who got married in the military divorced either shortly before they left the military or shortly after they left the military. I was one of the lucky ones that held on for like a few years before that happened, but like it's probably the worst time to get married.
Yeah, it's not good. That high school sweetheart that you think you're going to spend the rest of your life with, Mark, I know different situation for you than it is, but a majority of people going into the military are, you know, fresh out of high school. Yeah. Straight out of high school. Like, their senior year, they know what's happening. They know where they're going, kind of deal. You know, that's how it goes. Especially, like, can't speak for everybody, but from a majority of, like, what personally I had seen in Texas, like, you know, and, it's very common. And the majority of those people are not with those people anymore. You know? And it is what it is. There's no shame at all. I mean, fuck. Like, but high school, like, even into your 20s, fuck, I'm not even 30 yet. And I'm like, I'm like still a goddamn kid. I'm not an adult. What the fuck? It doesn't even matter.
Here's the funny thing is I'm only 28, but I already feel like I'm old as shit. And it's depressing as all hell to know that.
And I find it interesting because I'm like, I'm 29, I'm turning 30 in June. I'm like, fuck. 30 ain't shit. So I'd been going through like weird little small existential crises all throughout my life. But when I was a kid, like, I feared death because it was drilled into my head constantly from like my religious upbringing that we all die and like what that means. and the human aspect of me kicked in. Like, well, I don't want to die. I kind of like this life experience. I like what's happening. Too much. The ego center of being a human kicks in. It's like, well, I don't want to die. This is cool. Like, sure, things suck every once in a while, but for the majority of time, things are really awesome. And then I got out of that phase where I come completely acceptant of like, I'm gonna die, and that's okay. And for whatever reason, all of a sudden, like in the past like year and a half, 2 years, that fear and that uncomfortable area of existence kicked in again. And I'm like, is this like one of those things that like happens? Like the fact that now I'm exiting my 20s and I'm at I'm literally standing in the doorway of my 30s. Is this like a thing that I'm fully like coming like what does this say about me? What does it say about the time that I'm in? Because like I'm also looking at like other people around me who are older than me. Like you guys are like my true friends who are in my age bracket. But a majority of the people that I'm very close with and like friends with, like, and Key, you know this, like Pete. But he's in his 50s. He's older than my dad is. And like I identify with him and I really relate to him and I connect with him like on a very deep level, but I don't see him as like old, you know?
Yeah.
But I also don't look at my dad as like, oh, you're old kind of deal. Maybe that's just because I've always identified more with older people because I consider myself an old soul. I don't see it that way. Maybe I see age different or like experience different. But as of recently, that barrier has been stripped away, and I don't know, not the age barrier, but like I'm seeing all these old people, like older people, or people who even say it like, "Oh, I'm so old compared to you," because I hear that all the time. I'm so old compared to you.
Yeah,
and it's more in a sense of like yeah, I know I'm really young compared to you, but also at the same time, like there's this weird, man, I don't know if it's because of like my mental illness that I deal with, or if this is like a humanistic fear that I deal with that's coming back. It's creeped its head back in. But I'm like, well, yeah, I know I'm 29, I'm almost 30, but I could die any day. Like, it could happen I'm on my way home from work or I'm driving to work. I could be on the road, like doing one of my shows. As a musician, even like touring, when that becomes a deal, like if my band gets to the point where we're able to tour, like what kind of things happen to me while I'm on the road or something, like I just don't know. And I'm like, man, like maybe it also has been something that's been sparked up because of the pandemic. Like I didn't really have a lot of fears about death and like ceasing to exist until the pandemic happened, and started noticing all the young people who started dying. And I'm like, oh, I'm not really as none of this is as much of a guarantee as I thought it was. And
well, and that's the scary thing. Like even you, I told you guys recently that like I found a gray hair, and everyone like,
and that's one of the things that I like, and maybe that's why I'm bringing up this topic, is because of you messaging us and like, guys, I found out something devastating. I have a gray hair.
Dude,
And
I'm not gonna lie. That put a fire under my ass. I've been doing shit like
Right.
Like,
And I found like I know I was ribbing you. I'm like, oh, you found a gray hair. Oh, good. Yeah, I was making fun of you and stuff.
and that hurt. Like I cried for like 45 minutes after you said that, Brandon. I didn't appreciate it.
But at the same time, like I was sitting there, I'm like, this motherfucker got all this way without a goddamn gray hair up to this point. Like you and I were like while we were at Hops and Heroes together, like I was like, I have gray hair.
Yeah.
Like, I've got gray hairs.
I mean,
That
to
have
be fair, a lot of those were probably caused by me.
I mean, at the time, maybe I could have said that they were you. With the retrospect that I have and the kind of hindsight that I have, I can equivocally say that they were not because of you.
Mm.
I 100% look at all my stress, be it real or manufactured. I look at most of the stress that we dealt with was all manufactured. None of it was real. We would have made it through fine no matter what, because that was just the kind of people that we were. We were going to make it work no matter what.
Yeah.
The certain individual that we were in business with was the one who was manufacturing that guilt and that fear and that stress for us. And because that's what they were feeling. Or maybe they weren't feeling it at all. Maybe they were completely using us, regardless of whatever the situation, scenario that it be. Regardless of whatever the narrative was, be it true, fiction, or something in between, was very real for you and I and Shannon and the other people who were involved with us. It was very real. That person was very good at manipulating us into getting us to believe it, but be it real or manufactured. I mean, legitimately, I had so many gray hairs. You don't even know. The differences between you and I is I haven't dyed my hair since high school.
Yeah.
And you're kind of dealing with it. See, what I find so fascinating with you, from like a psychological standpoint, is because I know you, or at least I feel like I know you. We've been friends for a long time during different
13 years.
Right, but like it's been like an on and off. Like we weren't friends consistently, or what I should say is we weren't active in each other's life for 13 years.
Right.
We were friends. Like you called me up at any point. Like I was like right there. Like I fucking love this guy. I'm gonna, whatever.
Dick.
Didn't matter. But we weren't active in each other's lives that entire 13 years. Like it's just one of those kind of things that, God, I think I was 24, 25. No, I was 24 when I found my first gray hair, because Jasmine and I were married, and we were in our first apartment together, and we were getting ready before we went to work, and I was brushing my hair, and Jasmine was like, what was that? I'm like, what the fuck? What do you mean, what was that? She goes, there's something. Hold on. And she didn't say what she was doing. What she was doing is she was fishing out the gray hair that she found from me. And it was a shocking moment when she was like, you got a gray hair. And I think people have different responses to gray hairs. And I think your kind of response was more of the stereotypical response, like, "Oh my god, guys, I found a gray hair. I don't know what to do. Like, this is life altering. This is crazy." Now, were you playing it up for us? I don't know. Maybe you were, but I could imagine you kind of having like a, "Oh shit, there's a gray hair." Maybe you have like a little mini existential life crisis.
I still have that gray hair on my desk.
You
I looked at
it?
I plucked that fucker out, and
Why?
it is on my desk as a reminder of my own mortality.
I would have left it in.
Here's the thing: is it wasn't like it wasn't. It didn't fit with the rest of my hair. It wasn't like it was like, oh my gosh, I need to part my hair to see it. Like it was sticking straight out of the side of my fucking head, right above my ear.
Well, because the texture changes when your hair starts turning gray a little bit.
Right, but that's the problem is it wasn't like it didn't like there wasn't a way for me to just comb it back in. It was just sticking straight out.
I mean, I guess I understand that, but from my perspective, so I have a little bit of a different mentality. Same principle that you're going for, but a different, I guess, plan of action is a good way to put it.
Yeah.
I don't pluck any of my gray hairs, and I have not ever. In fact, the first time I ever plucked a gray hair was by accident because I was combing. I was just brushing my hair and I was styling it to get ready for the day. And I knew I had gray hairs. Or, like, at this point, I think I only had 3 that I knew of. I only had 3 that I knew of. And I looked down at the brush and I'm like, oh, that's standing out. That's pretty shimmery. What's going on with hair? And at the same time, I was like, oh, that might be one of Jasmine's hair, because Jasmine had dyed her hair blonde at the time. I'm like, oh man, this brush needs to be clean. This is one of Jasmine's hairs. And in here, and I plucked it out, and I'm like, oh shit, that is way too short to be a Jasmine hair. And it's just one of those things that, like, I saw my gray hair, and I don't know, like, I didn't have the sense of, like, the crisis that I hear, like, a lot of people that go through with, like, finding gray hair. Like, oh my god, I'm getting old.
Here's the difference,
because like when I found mine,
so Key, hold on, because we haven't gotten into this too much, because you haven't been as vocal. When can you give me like the best guesstimation of age that you were when you found your first one?
I guess honestly say that I was the exact same age as you, because
So 25, 26.
25 or 26, yeah, because what happened was my hair was just as long as it is now, and I cut it to a very short haircut, like similar to yours.
Oh, right. And the other thing that I find is when my hair is shorter, I don't see them.
Yep, and so
until you grow them out, that you'll start noticing them.
But with me, I have 3 cowlicks in the back of my head. And so when I cut my hair and I was kind of like messing with it, it was like, oh my god. Because I think my uncle forgot to kind of, he left, like, sometimes not every hairstylist is going to be perfect. So there's always going to be like that one strand of hair that's like very, very, very long. So there was like a couple of them. And she was like, oh my god, you have a gray hair. I was like, what? Really? And she was like, yeah. I was like, holy shit. Well, getting closer to my 30s. I guess this is when it's supposed to happen. I'm not too sure or how this works. And then
that's kind of like the similar situation that I had.
And it's like, that's crazy. Well, and I was like, well, it doesn't really matter because like a lot of other people are like dyeing their hair gray because it's a fashion or something like that. I'm like, it doesn't matter to me. I'm still going to be like a kid at heart, even though I'm getting older. And then it's like, yeah, and I have multiple gray hairs, even in my, like right where my bangs are, pretty much. You just can't see them, pretty much. And
right.
Yeah, and it's like, holy shit, it's crazy seeing that, because I never did dye my hair, except, I mean, I bleached it once in, I think it was like my sophomore year of high school, but literally it's like, man, I've never used any hair products, and like now it's like, man, this is crazy seeing the, like, because my hair is naturally jet black, it's like, wow, it's crazy seeing these gray hairs in my head, and it's like, huh. It's kind of nice because it kind of makes me feel like I'm a little more wiser because it just reminds me, all right, I am getting older, but I honestly think back to when I was like a teenager. I'm like, man, how differently I was back then. But like,
Isn't it
me
crazy?
now, would me now be annoyed of me at 16, or would me?
Isn't it crazy to think about that a majority of your life is actually going to be spent with a version of you that you did not grow up accustomed to?
Dude, I'm not gonna lie. If I could go back in time, I'd beat the shit out of my 16-year-old ass.
No. I'm not. I'm not talking about that.
No, I am though.
I'm talking in the sense of like how we look, how we act, and how we act is obviously like. I hope there's certain attributes and certain kind of mentalities that I have right now that I hope that exist when I'm like in my 40s and 50s. But at the same time, like, especially like I feel like I've got like this odd little extra perspective, especially like I guess I'm able to take inventory in my life more accurately, like where I was at 20, like when I turned 20, like 19 going into 20, as opposed to like I'm 10 years old and I'm going into 20 kind of deal,
Yeah.
Like, there's a there's a difference in like mental capacity and like kind of what you're able to process, what you've experienced. And obviously very much perspective in that sense, but I feel like that kind of young naivety, kind of that ignorant bliss that we're given is insulated into us for a reason. Some kind of like
Here's one thing I will say about you, Brandon, is I feel like one of the reasons you're so comfortable with this whole aging thing is you've always seemed to have a much older soul than most of the people I know.
which I do think that there is some credence to that, but at the same time, I still have the same fears. Like I do have panic attacks about the idea of dying.
Right.
It's weird too. Like, it'll be a totally normal day. Everything's going great. And I'll be listening to music that I love. And then all of a sudden, a thought will come across my mind and it'll be like, this isn't going to last. In fact, it's not even going to just kind of like mellow out. It's just going to stop. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh fuck, I don't know if I'm ready for it to stop. I like this. It's that that fear of the unknown that kicks in, that really pushes me in that like I'll have full on anxiety attacks of that, like where I'm legitimately like, this isn't a metaphor. Like this is like an actual, like I am gasping for air, trying to get over like that feeling like, oh God, I'm going to die one day and this is all going to stop and this whole existence and everything I know is going to cease. And one day I'm going to just, my thought process, my synapses of my emotions and any like brain capacity, the things that I find pleasure in, things that I am infuriated by, and just the things that make me human are just going to stop. And it brings me to the point where I'm like, like, oh God, like I don't want to think about that. Like I don't like it. It makes me uncomfortable. And it's very much like I talk myself down. I'm like, this is a human thing that you're feeling. This is your ego kicking in. Obviously, like while you like, I deal with I have my own mental illness there. I deal with suicidal thoughts and stuff, and I have my own ways of coping with it. But I legitimately find certain pleasures in being afraid. Like the moments that I find, like I'm legitimately afraid of dying, give me this weird kind of bittersweet enjoyment of life where it's like, yes, I struggle with my own fears and my self-doubt to where it's just like I feel that voice in my head that tells me like people would be better without you, or like what you don't matter kind of deal. But then all of a sudden I'm like, well, it doesn't, the other side of me it's like, well, it doesn't really matter on the grand scheme of things if I matter as a whole. But do I matter to myself? Am I finding enjoyment out of this experience that I've been that I'm living? And it's those kind of like gasping for air moments that, yes, they terrify me in their moment when I'm deep in it and I'm legitimately gasping for air and I'm terrified. There's something oddly hopeful about them and beautiful that I find about them, because it's like at the same time, my deepest, darkest depression that makes me feel like I am worthless, there is something about me that is desperately grasping and holding on to and does enjoy this experience that, you know, that I'm living. So I do find like it's truly one of like allegory of the double-edged sword, in the sense of like it's extremely painful, but it's extremely freeing at the same time. And but yeah, this is something that I've been dealing with a lot lately, leaving my 20s, going into my 30s. Early 20s, mid 20s really didn't feel it. I felt like I did a lot of personal growth in different ways. Really coming to understand who I am as a person. More so. I don't have a full grasp on who I am as a person. I grow every day. At least I certainly hope I am. I certainly don't want to regress in any way, but I constantly push myself to learn more, and be it about the world that I occupy, or about myself. But there's something that's been happening recently where my sense of mortality is kicking in again, which is odd, which is something I really hadn't dealt with too much through my early and mid 20s, but now in my late 20s, going into my 30s, they started reoccurring again. And it's something I dealt with in my late teens, the idea of dying and the idea of this ending. And I don't know if I don't fully understand what that says about me yet. And maybe I never won't. But I've started noticing a little bit of a personal cycle for me that I find fascinating and terrifying. And I really like it in a way, because I don't know, for someone that deals with the kind of mental problems that I deal with, it's oddly like while I'm gasping for air, at the same time I'm gasping for fresh air. And it brings a lot of clarity to me. And it was one of those things that when you jokingly making fun of yourself, pointing out the fact that you're getting older, like, oh, guys, I found a gray hair. I'm just sitting there. I'm like, yeah, I got about like 10, 15, maybe even 20 that I know of right now. And I'm kind of at the point where gray, well, not even kind of. I'm at the point where my gray hairs don't bother me. I mean, like I said, I haven't dyed my hair since I was in high school, and I did it just because I wanted to see what it would be like. And I didn't do any crazy color. It was just essentially, I didn't do it right, and it essentially looked like tiger stripes. It wasn't even frosted tips. It was just tiger stripes.
Well, we're going back to the tiger stripes for you in the near future.
Which I'm down for. At this point in my life, I feel like it works for me.
Guys, we just gotta all get fucking awesome, funky hairstyles, so we really just fucking stand out and go completely against what our branding looks like.
Well, Key already kind of, I mean, yes, it's within his branding of the podcast, but I mean, I can honestly say, even at this point with Key's hair, like his caricature does not capture like how full and voluptuous that hair is.
You're not wrong.
Like
Right.
it's like full on scene girl level big. But so anyways, to wrap up my thought, because I know you gotta go, Mark.
Yeah, I gotta wake up in 4 hours.
You're fine. You'll be fine. My thing is, I really hope you. I can't tell you how to view things, or like I can't. I don't know how you view your life experience, like your journey. And I can't tell you how to. I can just bestow tidbits, little breadcrumbs that have helped me get through. Really, I'd say those gray hairs, there's going to be more of them. Whether you dye your hair or not, they are going to be there. They are they're really a blessing. But personally, I believe that they're a blessing because it reminds me, one, life itself is impermanent. But it's also a reminder of how far I've come as a person. And it's also a reminder of where I'm going. And it really does make me want to be better. Sometimes it makes me want to be better for myself, but it really makes me want to be better for the people around me. It makes me think a lot about the potential legacy that I leave behind, because we're not guaranteed anything. We're not even guaranteed that we'll leave behind a good legacy. Well, but we're not. It's just, that's ridiculous. The best thing we can do is live the best lives, get the most out of it that we possibly can, and hope that we leave the world behind in a better shape than we originally found it. So that's kind of like my life
Basically,
mantra.
what we're getting at here, guys, grab life by the balls, ride that bitch into the sunset, and do something awesome.
Yeah, do something awesome. Even if people tell you it's dumb. Just
If you think it's awesome, do it.
If it's something weird, avant-garde, maybe your taste in music is nasty. I don't know. Just
Brandon, for fuck's sake, this is not the same episode as your music being nasty.
I know, but I'm referencing it.
Fuck's sake. That was like fucking God, that was like 3 hours ago.
Yeah.
Holy shit, we've been recording for like 7 or like 5 hours.
Yeah.
Jeez.
This is gonna be a long editing session.
been a great. I feel bad for you, but at the same time,
You don't give a fuck. Let's
I feel really good for us. As a
I do
club.
too. All right, Anchor, give us our money now.
Money, please.
All right, guys, I gotta go to bed.
Everybody have a great fucking week.
Hey guys, if you just can't get enough of Sunrise with the Sleepy Boys, you can check us out on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at SR Sleepy Boys, or you can check out our YouTube channel, Sunrise with the Sleepy Boys. You can also find us on Spotify, Radio Public, Anchor, Breaker Radio, and coming soon, Apple Podcasts.